Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. I still use books on eBay and Amazon, and today we're going to be talking about my sorting process, how I go through that and do all that. Right now this trailer, it's about halfway full of books. These were all estate sale leftovers that I'm going through, kind of finding what is still worth listing on eBay and Amazon, which there will be some stuff here today, and what we need to take to the bookstore for trading credit, and all sorts of places. So we're sorting bulk books. One thing to know about bulk books, if you're sorting through them, you need to have a plan to get rid of all your books. What are you going to do with the books? Like this book right here, what's your plan? Like all these books over here, what's my plan for them? So I'm going to be taking you through that process, showing you everything I do. Usually I work under my awning up in the front. I decided to do it right here next to the trailer today because get a little bit more shade from the trees. It's the middle of July and I don't have to worry about rain by any means because we have like no rain on the forecast for the next month. So I think we're just going to jump into this. I'm going to turn around the camera and start showing you my process for sorting books. I do have one piece of software I use. It is called Scoutly. I will put a link to it down in the description below. I think you get, I don't know if it's like 50% off your first month or your first month free or 25% off you get some sort of deal. I think it's 30 days free is what I think it is. If you use my link also, that does go to help out the channel if you find the information useful today. So, got this in the wrong ear. There we go. I got this in so I can hear Scoutly, and we will talk about that in just a second, but you know what? Let's do this. All right, so today I got 3 tables set up. I do this a little bit differently each time. I just now got this table given to me the other day. My wife was helping her friend move some stuff out of a storage unit, and she brought this table home to me, and I'm pretty happy with it. I've been putting my totes as they come off the trailer onto the table. That way I don't have to bend over to empty out the totes, and that's nice. And then we are going to start sorting. So on this table right here, we got all our books that have barcodes, and I have the barcodes facing up. Doing this kind of pre-sort really helps me sort them faster. We then have this pile of mass market paperbacks which will have your barcode on the inside. This barcode on the back is like a generic one. This one on the inside will tell you what the book actually is. And then our next stack is all our ISBNs that are on the back, where you just have kind of your ISBN spelled out with no barcode. These typically are some of my more valuable books, so it's always a really good pile to see. And then our last pile, which is kind of the harder pile, is anything that has an ISBN on the inside or could potentially have an ISBN on the inside. I'm sticking right here. Anything that I know is too old to have an ISBN or just won't because maybe it's not really book related is going in this tote. And this stuff we will manually look up on another day. We are not going to do that today. We are trying to get through the bulk of the stuff today so that all this stuff we can deal with today and get out of our way. We'll end up with a few totes of this stuff that here in a few days when we got some more time, if we have a rainy day and we're working inside or something like that, we can go through it then. But we're trying to get through the fastest, quickest stuff today to get a lot of books out of our way so we have more space. Now, I have tons of empty totes set up everywhere, so let's just kind of go on how I do this, what I'm doing. First up, we got Amazon. I've kind of put these in order of where I want them to go the most. I want most of the stuff to go to Amazon, so that's my first tote. Second tote is eBay. It's really great for stuff to go on eBay. Next, we have the 3 sellback companies that I currently use. We use BooksRun, and then we use either Sellback Your Book or Ziffit. It's basically the same company. In which personally I've been using Ziffit lately because their website is easier for me to work than Sellback Your Book. But Sellback Your Book also takes CDs and DVDs. So I might end up using them this time because I know I got CDs and DVDs in this lot. Third Sellback book company is Pals. They end up taking some random stuff sometimes, so that's why I do use them. On the bottom, I've already got some books in here from sorting, a little bit of sorting I did earlier in the week. Over here, this is going to be all my stuff that's not worth it, but that I'm going to take to my used bookstore here locally for trade-in credit. Next tote is stuff that I think I want to try on Whatnot. I'm experimenting with that, so you can kind of ignore that tote. It's what I'm experimenting with. Next tote, these are all going to wholesale relationship I have. I don't know how to explain it, but I got a guy that wants to buy these books. I'm going to mail them off to him, and I know what he wants. Same thing here, but this is going to be a guy that buys a lot of CDs and DVDs. That basically a wholesale relationship I have. and I'm going to send those to him. So those two you probably won't have. I know, look at this. We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different places things could go. Over here, we got a couple of totes. I've already talked about this one. This is gonna be our manual lookups, or also stuff that we are going to cover scan for Amazon, but we're gonna do that on another day. And here's stuff that for lots. I got a lot of Bibles in here today. I think that's really all in here today. Maybe if I find like a random Harry Potter book or like a partial childcraft set, stuff like that for lots, that is going to be going in this tote. And then we got some trash down here. I had like some books that were like really water damaged, random pieces of paper, books that were completely falling apart, that sort of thing. Should not see very much of that today. Less than 5% of this will be trash. Like probably around 1% of this, or maybe even less than that, will be trash today. But anyways, so to scan these, I do use a Bluetooth scanner. Here's the one I'm using today. This is put out by eYoYo. Really like this one. So it fits on your finger and you can scan it like this. And I'm going to put Scoutly up on the screen in just a second and show you guys how we use Scoutly. Also, if you're interested in seeing my trigger set that I use for Scoutly, which is a little bit different than a lot of people's, go ahead and stay tuned to the end. I'm actually going to show you guys my Scoutly trigger set this time. Usually I don't, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, that's basically it. Scoutly, what Scoutly does is Scoutly is going to look at use this barcode information or this ISBN information to look up a book on Amazon. It's going to see how quickly that book sells on Amazon and at what price it's currently listed on Amazon. It's then going to use my parameters I've set up to tell me, is this worth selling on Amazon, or is it slower selling and I should put it on eBay, or also if it will go to one of my 3 sellback companies that I use. There's lots of other sellback companies, but these are the 3 that I find to kind of be my best mix. Try them out for yourself, but this is what I really like. Books Run, the best in my opinion. Then either zip it or sell back your book. And third is Pals, which is just usually kind of random what they will take. Start sorting out. Just want to give you a quick update. Here is my Amazon pile. We got, I don't know, like 5 books out of that many that we had there. I think we got around like $40 profit there. One like $15 book for eBay. Here is my Books Run stuff. Most of these are like 30 cents a piece, so not much, but still a couple dollars in there. Same thing, Zip It. Most of these are like around 15 cents a piece, so like $1 or $2 there. And then this is the one that went to Pals. Notebook, Nicholas Spark. They're paying $1 for that for some reason. To pick up one random CD in there for Bulk Guy there. Whatnot box is getting bigger. Bookstore one got so full I had to get out a second tote for it, so that's fine. And then manual lookups. I completely filled up that tote. Started working on this one. There's a lot, just kind of the nature of the books we were in. There's a whole lot of stuff that was pre-ISBNs, but maybe it can be good. A whole lot of like math and science and like engineering type stuff. And I'm actually gonna make a lot out of some of these better textbooks. Setting all of them to the side for now, and then we will curate some sort of lot later on. And then also found a Magic Treehouse book. I keep these for lots, so we will put that there, but we're gonna get at it. I don't think I'm gonna show you guys any more of this part of the process because you get the idea. Usually I'm gonna fill up the table way fuller than I did last time, but I just wanted to do a quick little bit so I could get this video filmed. So fill up the table as much as we possibly can until I'm starting to get nervous about it breaking. And then we will sort through them all. But for now, I think we're just going to jump and show you guys my Scoutly setup, how I have it set up. It's a little bit differently. I don't do reds and greens like everybody else does. I do like golds and blues and stuff like that. So let's go take a look at that right now. All right, so we're going to be going over our, what do we call these? Trigger set that I use. So we're at asellertoolportals.com. I've logged in already. I'm not going to show you my login information. And I've just titled this Josh's Awesome Trigger Set. Now, some things to note. Whenever your triggers go off, you can't always trust them. You need to look at things closely. They're just a basic guideline. They're not rules. Also, this trigger set that I'm using is for more like when I'm doing bulk purchases. If I'm scanning like in a thrift store or something like that, a lot of the books I'm not going to end up buying, even though that they trigger as a yes, you should buy this on my trigger set. So to look at this, I'm pretty sure we go to edit trigger set. So we are going to do that right now. And yeah, we're just looking at books today. So now, some things to look at is most people use greens and reds. I use kind of this mix of gold and blue, and then there should be some, I guess if they don't turn gold or blue, then it turns red. Okay, so gold tells me it's going to Amazon, blue tells me it is going to eBay. And I honestly, I don't have a lot of stuff turning blue. Some other people do more like either send it to Amazon, FBA, or send it to Amazon for merchant fulfilled. I don't want to do an Amazon merchant fulfilled like setup at all. I'd rather just do Amazon, FBA, and eBay. So if you're doing a mix of merchant fulfilled and FBA, maybe these would be good trigger sets for you. So, first things first, where is the newest one I added? So down here at the bottom, triggers 9 and actually 10 we're going to turn off because that one doesn't even work. So trigger number 9 is the one that we are going to be looking at. It is kind of our fastest selling books. These have an e-score of between 6 and 1. You know what? Let's back up a second. We're going to slow down here so everybody is on the same page. So your trigger can either be turned on or off depending on if it's checked over here or checked off. Notice I did try to have a whatnot trigger, but we're not going to worry about that. So now there's a few different columns here. We got minimum sell score. That's how many times it's sold in the last 180 days. Maximum sell score. We also have a rank. I honestly wish these categories were not here and we could just go off sell score. Do we use only sales rank? I've put no on these. I guess I could put yes on these. And just is the sales rank, is that okay? So no, we can't do that, unfortunately. I wish I could use only the sales count and not the sales rank. I wish that was a feature, but anyways, FBA slot, we either look at 1 or skip. Use slot, we're either be looking at 3 or 1 for the most part. Select use buy box if lower. I've put no on all those. Select use buy box if higher. I've got yes or no on some of those. Percentage off buy box, percentage off Amazon. Our target profit, which is going to be very important, the color it goes, the message, and then we can edit these. So hopefully everybody kind of understands what those columns mean, at least a little bit. So we're going to go down here to number 9 first, which is kind of my fastest moving books. They have a sell score of between 6 and 186. This means they sell between 6 and 186 times in the last 6 months. Also, books that fall under this trigger will have a sales score between 1 and 100,000. These are your quick selling books. I would not use this trigger if you're not doing bulk, because these books you probably don't want to buy, because we're looking at books here that have a minimum profit of $2.75. That means if the book will make me at least $2.75, I'm going to buy it and send it to Amazon. Well, not buy it because I've already bought it. These are bulk books. So $2.75, we will still send that to Amazon because this thing is going to sell pretty quickly. So some others triggers we've got. If it's from 6 to 186, but the rank is above 100,000 and up to 1.5 million, we're going to need a target profit of at least $5. Okay? So, interestingly enough. Now, I've got another one right below this that is very similar. This one has a minimum sell score of 0, so it might not have even sold in the last 6 months on Amazon. The rank is in between 1 and 1.5 million, which you don't really run into books like this very often. Anyways, and it has a target profit of $7. If it's like that, we are going to put that in our eBay pile. Now, my eBay books, I am going to research them on eBay to make sure they're actually good or not, but these are going to get thrown into my eBay pile and looked up on eBay. And honestly, this trigger you could probably delete because I never find anything that fits this trigger. Next trigger, 6 to 186 again on our sales score. Our minimum rank 1.5 million, max rank 3 million. Used only, we say no, 1, 3, no, yes, 5%, 10%, and our target profit here is $8. So these books are going to sell a little bit slower, so we need to be making more money for them because it's more likely that the price of these books is going to go down over time. Once again, this turns gold. Now I've got the same exact thing for our next line. The only difference here is the scale score goes from 0 to 186, 1.5 to 3 million. I find a lot of books that kind of fit this trigger quite a bit. I do have a target profit of 850, and these go into my eBay pile. Once again, I will look those up, make sure they are actually good for eBay, but typically if they turn blue here, they are good for eBay, but maybe not. Next trigger, once again, sell scores from 6 to 186. Rank here is from 3 million to 6 million. These books typically move pretty slowly, so my profit needs to be a lot higher. And here we have a target profit of $15, which is pretty nice. Next category, which is where I find the most of my eBay books whenever I am scanning, books that turn blue at least for me. Minimum sales count from 0 to 186, 3 to 6 million on books, and these turn and a target profit of just $10, and these turn blue for me. Last category. I don't know why I put 101 here. I should probably change that to 186, but you can't have anything with that high of a rank. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about too much. 6 million to 50 million. These are your super slow moving books that have not sold probably in the last couple of years on Amazon. I've got a target profit of these $20, but notice it turns this white color for me instead, and I've got a message here saying check. This is something I need to look at closely. Like, is this just a book that's way overpriced on Amazon and so it hasn't sold and it could sell really good on Amazon, or what's going on here? There's something weird going on with this book is usually the situation. And then we've got the same sort of thing going on the next line as well. I feel like these got messed up. Maybe I need to fix these. But I don't have very much stuff turning white, so I'm just going to leave them as they are for now. And that is my trigger stuff. I have some other stuff down here that is not checked off. As you can see, it is grayed out. These are more like the basic triggers it usually gives you to start with. But these are the triggers I use. Also, if you click over here on edit, you can change the sound that it makes. I have a different sound for Amazon. It makes that cash sound. And then I have a different sound that I use for my eBay books, which really helps as I'm sorting through there. It makes a ding for the eBay, a cash for the Amazon, and just gives me a good idea. Some other things to note at the top that's very important. Fulfillment, I do have set up as FBA because that's what we are doing for all our Amazon cost stuff. Buy cost, I just put it at 0. And FBA, inbound cost per pound, I put at 50 cents. Probably need to raise this at this point. I've had it at 50 cents quite a while, but it's really not that big of a deal in all honesty. Like, books, we're talking 1 to 2 pounds. If I change this to 50 cents or to $1, like, that's really not changing things too terribly much for most books. So these are my triggers I use for books. I do not suggest copying them exactly because, you know what? Your business is going to be a lot different than mine. This is what is currently working for me. I am seeing success with it. I'm making some money with it, and it's working for me. The whatnot one did not work, so please ignore that. That did not work at all. But yeah. Anyways, these are my triggers. This is what I use. Do with them what you will. But anyways, if you found this helpful, subscribe. If not, I'll see you around. Goodbye, guys.